Hi, I'm Brady Gaster. I work for the Windows Azure Evangelism team at Microsoft, and I specialize in what's called Windows Azure websites. It's a really easy way for you to get started with either a ASP.NET app, obviously, or an ASP app, or a PHP app, or a Node.js app. And I think we're adding Python support. I think we've got it in infancy stages at this point, but the support for that will continue to grow. And for a lot of people, when Azure first came out prior to the June release this year, a lot of people who were primarily web developers, they had to kind of change their programming paradigm and work with a web role. They had to create a cloud service, all that good stuff. And the deployment process wasn't intuitive based on like the way web developers do things. So a lot of web developers found it to be somewhat of a challenging platform to work on. And Websites solves that problem and lots of other problems. You can get started for free on Websites. If you sign up with a Windows Azure account, you get 10 websites for free. And you can do pretty much whatever you want in all different technologies. One of the demos that I've done in the past that we've kind of shopped around is basically taking creating a new website in Windows Azure Websites, and you upload basically a hello world that's written in ASP, ASP.NET, Node.js, PHP, the whole nine, and each one of them will work simultaneously. You can actually hit each individual URL, and everything works out of the box. You don't have to turn any knobs, you don't have to tweak anything. All those frameworks work all at the same time, side by side. One of my colleagues, Nathan Totten, has actually written a blog post wherein he does an interesting leaderboard application for a game that he wrote. And the application actually uses Socket.io, which is a Node.js component, and SignalR, which is a .NET component, and he actually uses those two together. And it just kind of shows the power of being able to switch back and forth. If you work on teams that have developers that use different web technologies, they can all write their code all in one website, and you don't have to tweak anything, you don't have to turn on components or turn them off. They all just work right out of the box. I really like Windows Azure Websites because I think it gives young companies and startups the opportunity to get started, obviously for free, with your 10 free websites. And then whenever you're ready and you're ready to launch your site and you want to map a domain name to it, you can actually move an individual site from the free zone, for all intents and purposes, over to the shared zone, and you can pay for just that site. And you can scale that out. You can also scale out free sites, so you can have one website that's load balanced across 3 or more web servers all at the same time. And if you determine that you need more horsepower, you can actually go up and go to reserved instances, and then all of your websites live on your own box and you don't have to worry about anything at all. It's probably my favorite feature of Windows Azure because it just really makes it easy to get started with a website. And recently we announced support for .NET 4.5. That was something that a lot of community members have been asking for. There's all kinds of great goodness in the ASP.NET 4.5 framework. So once it got added to Windows Azure Websites, you've got things like EF Spatial, async support, all the new stuff built into the web forms programming model, all the new stuff built into MVC, and the functionality is just sky's the limit. You can do pretty much whatever you want. And if you like Git, you can deploy with Git. You can actually push your code into GitHub and your code will just fly over magically into your website. It'll just get launched automatically. If you're a TFS fan, you can actually use TFS Preview. You can put all your code in TFS. All your unit tests will get run. Everything will get deployed on the fly. You can do FTP, or you can do web deploy directly from Visual Studio. So you can actually build your web application in Visual Studio, right-click the web project and say Publish, and import your Publish profile, and you don't have to change any connection strings or anything at all. It just magically gets pushed up and configured on the fly automatically right up to Windows Azure. You can get your website up and running in probably 30 seconds. As fast as you can write the code, you can deploy the code. I think it's a great addition to the Windows Azure arsenal, and if you're a web developer, you've got to try it out because it just really makes everything streamlined and easy. It's great for startups. It's great for agencies that have multiple sites. You can basically put all your sites on one reserved instance, and you have one management portal that you can go to and kind of control everything you want. Sky's the limit, pretty much. I encourage you to try it out, especially if you're a web developer or you're thinking about building APIs. It's a great place to be.